Assalamualaikum and welcome to the next video of Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. In the last class we had studied in detail about what are solids, and the solids have three dimensions called as surfaces, edges and points. The surfaces have two dimensions called as edges or also called as lines and points, and finally edge or line has only one dimension called as point, and there are no dimensions for a point because point is the smallest structure and after that it cannot be divided anything into further. And also in Euclid's geometry there are three things that can be called as undefined terms. So please while you listen to the video also make a note of this point. Three undefined terms are surfaces, edges or lines and point. Why are they called as undefined terms? Example, when you speak about a surface. Surface has length and breadth. In the last class you must have seen I defined the surface as something that has plane surface as something that has length and breadth, correct? But in that definition they did not say what is the meaning of length and what is the meaning of breadth. So if there are any terms in any definition in which the clear explanation about those terms are not given, it will be called as undefined terms. So as I was telling, when you speak about surface are those structures or plane surfaces are those structures that have length and breadth. But we don't know what exactly length means and what exactly breadth means. So when we don't have definitions of these words in the sentence, then you call them as undefined terms. Like that there are three undefined terms in Euclid's geometry. They are called as plane surface or only surface, edges or lines and points. So it can be a one mark question. Name the undefined terms in Euclid's geometry: surfaces, lines or edges and points. Coming to axioms and postulates. First of all, let us know what is the meaning of axioms and postulates. Now Euclid gave a lot of definitions in his book called as Elements. Okay, in these statements or properties or definitions that he has explained in his book, lot of definitions are universal truth. Means they can be used anywhere. Not only in the field of mathematics, it can be used anywhere. Such statements are called as axioms and they will be true. They will always be true. Now there are some statements that are only true in the field of mathematics or geometry in particular, but you cannot use them anywhere outside the field of geometry or mathematics. Such statements will be called as postulates. Right now we will be studying axioms. Axioms are not only for the field of mathematics, they can be used in any field generally, and those statements will be always true statements. While explaining, you will understand why these statements are called as true statements and how they can be used in any field. Let us begin with axiom number 1. Axiom number 1 is things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. I will try to prove it mathematically first to understand. Example, let us suppose I have two apples in one box and I have another box in which also I have two apples. Okay. Now these are two things. Two things are two boxes. In two boxes I have two apples and two apples. So things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. That means can I say that box number 1 is equal to box number 2? Correct? Because why is box number 1 equal to box number 2? Because box number 1 also has two apples. Box number 2 also has two apples. That is the meaning of things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. So now this statement is not only confined to the field of mathematics or geometry. You could actually make use of this statement in any field, right? Generally at home, if you have two bags of rice, you can tell one bag of rice is equal to another bag of rice if the weight of the bag is same. Or you can tell one marker is equal to another marker because both are same and both are 1 in quantity. So such statements are called as axioms, and that is the meaning of axiom number 1. Let us move on to axiom number 2. If equals are added to equals, the wholes are equals. Now, example, I had two apples in the first box, and in another box also I had two apples. I will continue with the same example to understand better. To this I will add one apple, and to this also I will add one apple. So 2 plus 1 will become 3 apples. 2 plus 1 will become 3 apples here as well. That means there are already equals, that is 2 is equal to 2. 2 and 2 apples are equal already. To this also if we add equals, that means this we are adding, that is also equal. Here also I will add one apple, here also I will add one apple. Then the total that I will get, that is called as wholes, that is also equal, right? Here I will get 2 plus 1 as 3, here also I will get 2 plus 1 as 3. But if I add one apple here and if I add two apples here, then the wholes will be different. So what we are trying to understand from second axiom is, if we already have something that is same, and to that if we are adding something that is again same. Example, two apples and two apples I already had. To this I am adding one apple, to this also I am adding one apple. The whole or the answer is going to be 3 apples, and the answer here also is going to be 3 apples. That is the meaning of second axiom. If equals are added to equals, that means 2 apples and 2 apples are equals. To this also we are adding equals, 1 and 1, same, 1 and 1 are equals. The wholes are equals, that means the answer you will get will also be equal. Now this is again a statement that is not only useful in mathematics, or not true only for mathematics, but could be used anywhere outside the field of geometry and maths, anywhere you want. Coming to third axiom, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equals. Continuing with the same examples, I had 2 apples in box number 1 and I had 2 apples in box number 2. From this I will remove 1 apple, from this I will remove 1 apple. 1 apple will be remaining in box number 1, 1 apple will be remaining in box number 2. So this was for addition, this is for subtraction. That means from equal quantities, if you remove equal quantities, then the answer you will get, that is called as remainders, that will also be equal. So axiom number 1, if things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Axiom number 2, if equals are added to equals, the wholes are equals. Axiom number 3, if equals are subtracted from equals, then the remainders are equals. So in today's class we have learned 3 axioms with some certain examples. Please make note of all the 3 axioms in your classwork. And also some students are asking, should you maintain a separate geometry classwork for this? It's okay to continue in the same book in which you have written chapter number 1, not a problem at all. If you want to, you maintain a separate geometry book, but if you have not taken, don't waste money, continue in the same book. One more important thing is, today's homework will be based on 3 different axioms. Try to give me different examples. Like how I took examples here. Like that, I want you to give at least 2 examples for each axiom that we have learned today and submit that homework on the Google Classroom app. Thanks for watching the video, and I will continue with the remaining axioms in the next class.